Hey there, guys, and a big welcome back to the Blaze TV podcast. Ed Kimberley with you. And my guest on this edition, new Blaze forward, Sam Ruffin. Sam, big welcome to the podcast and a big welcome to the Blaze. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited to be part of such a great organization and excited to get going for sure.
Well, I hear you've been spending a lot of time this summer with Mr. Luciani, so I think we'll probably come to that a little bit later. But clearly, he's told you a lot of good things about the place to inform your opinion, and we thank Lucci for that one. But before we come to the present day, I want to throw straight into high school if you can. I'm going back that far because you went to Culver, which is a military academy, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious: was a route to the armed services something you were thinking of, or was it just they happened to just also have a great hockey program there?
So I grew up in Indiana, and like the hockey there when I was younger was good. And then when I got to my freshman year of high school, I went to a public school, and by that time the hockey was kind of fizzling out for
Hmm.
like the U16, U18 program like that. And I knew a few of my buddies that decided to go to Culver their freshman year of high school. So I kind of decided to follow them, and it was honestly a great decision. It taught me a lot of life lessons at a young age, like being on time, making your bed, kind of all that stuff. But yeah, it was a good experience. I'm glad I got to do it. The military part was definitely different than what I've ever done, I guess. Our first week is kind of called Hell Week, where
Oh,
we kind of go through and get our butts into shape, and we kind of get everything thrown at us right then and there. Kind of got to remember it all and learn it. But once you get through your first year, it kind of eases up on that and stuff like that. But yeah, it's super cool. Like we had parades and stuff we do every Sunday. We get all in our uniforms. There was four different battalions, if you will. So there was like infantry, which was what I was in. We would carry the guns in the parade. The equestrian, they would ride the horses. Then there was battery, which they fired cannons during the parade, and then obviously the band. So yeah, it was super cool, and I was super grateful to get that opportunity. Big thanks to mom and dad.
yeah, no, they come in handy supporting their kids growing up playing hockey. But talk about the hockey program there because it's had some pretty high level NHLers go through there. John Michael Lyles was there. I mean, he was probably like my generation growing up watching him. A couple of the Suter brothers went there. Nick Dowd went there, and of course, Blaze alumni Peyton Franti was there while you were there as well. So tell us about the hockey program and what do you remember about France?
Yeah, I love their hockey program. It was great. It was kind of great to get away from like the military and school aspect and kind of go to the rink and just be hockey dudes again. But yeah, it's great facilities. The locker room sweet. We got a big rivalry with Shattuck St. Mary's, so that was always fun. We'd always have like a whiteout, and most of the school would come, and that place would be rocking. So yeah, it was good. And Ferranti was actually in my group. Like it was called Company A is the group we were in. So yeah, we were good buddies, and he's a funny dude for sure.
Oh, we love France here. One and done in the pro career. It was a bit of a shame. I think we could have happily had him for many more years. You talked about moving from Indiana to Culver, and then you moved a little bit further up north to go play in the NAL with Alaska. What prompted that move? Because I don't think anybody here in the UK really has a reference point when it comes to Alaska. It's just so different to what we have.
Yeah, it definitely is different. It was a big change. So I played up in Fairbanks. I got drafted by them, and I decided to go play there. Um, and yeah, well, I didn't know what to expect at all when I got to Alaska. I know it's way up there, and that's kind of all I knew. So when I got there, it was, I don't know, probably late August or so, I think is when we were starting, but it was already like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing cold, raining. But yeah, up in Fairbanks, it gets negative 40 Fahrenheit. And then in the summer, it can get all the way up to 80, 85. But yeah, it's cool. I was there from 16, 17. I did my senior year online there, finished that, played another year, and then I committed to go to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Then at the end of my second year of juniors there, mom and dad decided that they were going to move up there. So,
Wow.
yeah, they thought I was going to be there for 4 years. Things didn't work out there, but they moved up to the Anchorage area. We live in the Palmer area now, which is like an hour north of Anchorage. But they both work at the hospital there at the University of Alaska Anchorage, and I don't get to go home much, but when I do, I definitely take advantage of it and try to get some fishing in and enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, I hear the fishing's great up there for sure.
Yeah.
You have to travel a heck of a lot playing in Fairbanks when you're playing in the Nile because you're in the Midwest Division. I mean, I know you're like a million miles away from everything, but like the Central Division is probably where you've got most of the teams geographically to you. What was like all that traveling like as a young player? Because I imagine that was a bit of a head spinner.
Yeah. So I guess the easiest way to explain it was we would be at home for like a month,
Yep.
and we would play that month stint at home, and then we would hit the road for like 2 to 3 weeks. So we would be down in the lower 48 playing those games. And yeah, it was kind of brutal. Usually fly from Fairbanks to Seattle, which is like 4 hours. And then you go Seattle to Minneapolis is usually where we flew into, then kind of drove to whoever we were playing from there. But yeah, it was a lot of late nights and early mornings for sure. Sleep schedule got a little funky, but I mean, I think that's kind of what made us so good and so close as a team was just being able to spend all that time together, traveling and stuff like that. And I love all those guys. I'm still best buddies with some of them. So yeah, it was good.
Do you think that closeness that you kind of, I guess, built on the road led to some of the success that you had there? Because you're pretty successful, right? You had a division final, a Robertson Cup semi, you won a regular season championship, then kind of lost out to Minot, who seemingly got just hot at the right time. And in hockey, that just happens sometimes. Do you think that kind of living on the road together just helped build that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like we were in hotels all the time together, eating together, all the meals were together. Um, it was kind of just like the boys in hockey. So like it was fun to experience that. And I do think being on the road helped us get so close, but we also just had a great group of guys, which always helps with team success. I think we had like 14 guys commit D1 that year. So it was a good team, and I was proud to be a part of it. I wish we didn't lose to Minot, but it always doesn't go your way. So you
Yeah,
win.
that's hockey. Hockey in life, it doesn't always go your way. But look, looking back personally as well, I mean, you must have been pretty pleased with your own game there. You know, you developed and found your feet seemingly quite quickly. You were putting up points. I think you're about a point a game in both regular season and playoffs. And from what I look at, you know, what I understand from the NAL and you know how that hockey is, it's quite fun to play. You know, there is an opportunity, you know, for someone who's a scorer like yourself to, you know, go and do that. So, were you pretty pleased with what you were able to put out there, looking back on a couple of years?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't too I didn't know kind of what to expect going. But we had a great coaching staff and they kind of helped me find my feet in that first year. We had an older team, I would say, my first year, so I got to learn from guys that have done it before. And then I feel like I just had a big summer that going into my second year, and it kind of boosted me, and I kind of just started hot and kind of didn't stop. So, yeah, but I gotta give a shout out to those teammates too. I probably couldn't have done all that without them. Um, but yeah, I was proud of my success there. I think it's kind of boosted me to where I guess am now and kind of what I've achieved in the recent past. So yeah, I'll be forever grateful for Fairbanks and kind of what they did for me.
Yeah, you mentioned that the D1 thing in Fairbanks didn't quite work out, but that phone rang. Adam Krug's on the other end of it, someone you already knew, and I mean, it must have been a pretty easy sell to move down to Adrian. They clearly had something brewing there. Just talk us through that whole process and how you knew Adam already.
Yeah, so I skated with Kruger when I was Gosh, it was probably when I was back. I was back in Indy. He was coaching the USHL team, the junior team there at the time. So he would come out and run a few skates for us in the summer. So I kind of got familiar with him there and who he was. And yeah, things didn't work out in Fairbanks, unfortunately. So I kind of talked to Kruger, told him like if I don't end up going D1 anywhere else, like you're the only D3 coach I want to come play for. And I think it was one of the greatest decisions for my hockey career. He probably will be one of my best coaches ever. He's taught me so much, not only as a player, but just as a young man as well. But yeah, I would say my best friends came from Adrian. Obviously, Luch and I are together all the time. So yeah, it was good though. We were super successful. We got that national championship in 22, which was it was a good time, and I'm glad a group finally got it. I think we deserved it. I'm glad we got it for Kruger too. I know he's been trying for a while, but yeah, I'm forever grateful for Adrian. It was best 4 years of my life here, and um, yeah, I don't know. It's fun to think back on all the memories you made, and
Oh
I don't.
yeah, and we're going to talk about them as well. Like we're going to cover the 22 national championship, and I guess I've been kind of lucky to cover it with a few alumni, and over the last couple of years, and having Kevin behind the bench is probably no surprise with his links to Adrian. We've got to do that, but you almost did it hitting the ground running because your first year you win the division. There was the Buffalo State tournament as well, like one of the minor tournaments there. You were able to win that. You're all geared up for the national championship, and then bang, COVID hits. I mean, that must have been like crazy as a player. You've got all this momentum. You're thinking, oh my gosh, like we're going to do this, and then someone pulls the rug out from under you. What was that whole experience like?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. It was tough on all the guys, just knowing like we had a solid group that year, and we did think we could make it pretty far. And then when that hit, it was just I don't know. Everyone was sad. I remember that practice. Kruger told us, um, and we just all kind of were in shock. And he's like, "Do you guys want to keep practicing, or what do you want to do?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's just keep practicing. Like this is going to be our last skate with each other." And we went through a drill, and it was terrible. I think everyone was kind of just still in shock. So we kind of just switched it to like a 3-on-3 mini game and just had fun for the last skate. But yeah, it was definitely tough. It was tough adjusting that next year because COVID was still kind of a big thing then. We were getting tested all the time, and we only ended up playing like 25 games, so it was definitely different. We played a few D1 schools that year as well. Um, so yeah, it was just kind of a weird time in the world, weird time to be a hockey player, I guess, and going through all that. But
Mm.
I mean, what can you do?
What can you do? Well, yeah, I mean, I think we all had that in one way or another. Like, what are you going to do? You just
Yeah.
kind of had to get on with it as best as you could. And personally, I mean, you talk about it being the best decision that you made in terms of hockey up till now. Hopefully, Sam, of course. But you led the team in assists that year. After I guess a period with Fairbanks, like you say, you didn't quite work out. You weren't particularly super comfortable and happy there. That must have been really gratifying as an individual to go, okay, like I'm able to contribute in a big way here.
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to step in as a younger guy, new to the team, and kind of have the success I did. My line mates were unreal that year, so they made it definitely easier, kind of get them the puck and let them score. So, but yeah, it was fun to be able to step in and have a contribution right away, and I think it kind of just boosted me for the following years to come.
Mm. What you do like outside of hockey is, I guess, also really important. Like guys that do over here, we see it in terms of doing schooling and getting involved in the community in various degrees. You did quite a lot of that throughout like your junior and your college career, particularly with the St. Baldrick's Foundation. When did that kind of all start for you? Why did you get involved? And I guess just tell us a little about the foundation and what you were doing to support them.
Yeah, so it kind of started when I was younger in Indy. All of our, I guess the 97 group, my group, the 98 group, and then the 99 group would all go participate in this, and we would all buzz our heads and kind of show our support to the cancer community like that. But yeah, I think it's super important to show respect to those people and kind of help them out any way we can. I know everyone's not blessed in that way, so yeah, I think it's important to show our love, and I know people in the community like that always show support to teams and to individuals. So I do think it's part of the game, part of sports, to kind of give back and kind of show our gratitude towards that. So yeah, I thought it was a good thing to be a part of, and I love it. So
Yeah, well, that's awesome, bud. And I think it's being involved in the hockey community. I guess you see just the little things, even as, Hockey Fights Cancer Night, for example, the Breast Cancer Awareness Night, the special jerseys and the like, when teams are able to put that on, I think that's always a really good thing for them to do, and, makes it hit home. It's more than just a sport. It's more than just you go for 90 minutes to go watch a game, or a couple of hours, however long you're at the rink, and then go home again. There's a lot more just to it. But I guess on a lighter note, let's talk about that national championship, shall we? So, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm desperately trying to remember the order of the regular season. You're 28-1, and I think it was only the first game of the season that you lost, and then just went on this incredible tear. Just start off with the regular season record, because that in itself is pretty impressive.
yeah, so our first games of the year were in Utica, and I would say our top three forwards, I know Luch and I, and then our top 2D, we all kind of got COVID and we had to stay home. So it was kind of sending a group up there, a younger group, a couple freshmen that are going to be playing big minutes, and they got the job done. They lost that first one in OT, I think it was, and then they managed to get the second one, and then we got the rest of the guys back. And I think from that weekend, it just kind of set the tone on, like, we're not going to lose. Like, we're a good team, and we know we're a good team, and we just kind of kept it rolling. That year we played in the outdoor game in Toledo, and for that game we got camouflage Adrian jerseys. So our thing with Kruger was we went on Friday night and we get to wear those every Saturday. So, and that was kind of our thing, and we loved to kick ass on Friday, so we could wear those camo J's on Saturday. And yeah, it was kind of looking back on it, it's just kind of like, wow, we did that. I think it was 30, I think we played 31 games that year, so it was 30-1 or whatever it was. So yeah, it was a crazy time, and I enjoyed it, and we made a lot of good memories that night, especially, and the weeks after. But it wasn't always easy. Like, we definitely went through our ups and downs, which every team does. But I think we were able to handle those kind of lows better than other teams could. Is so that I think that kind of separated us from the rest of the bunch. And with Kruger coaching and that team we had, I knew once we got going that it was going to be this year, and it was. So and it being in Lake Placid as well made it even better.
Yeah.
Just kind of being where that 1980 Olympic team was, and just all the history around that city. It kind of fueled us. So yeah.
I get that. I mean, Miracle is super special, and anyone watching this that hasn't seen that and has a Disney Plus subscription, go watch that movie. I actually saw something the other day on Instagram that was talking about like the top 20 Disney movies of all time, and I was super glad to see that actually Miracle made it into the top 10. And when you consider, like, okay, it's not there for, you're there for Beauty and the Beast and Pocahontas, and if you want to include Pixar, Toy Story, and it was cool that Miracle slipped into the top 10. So I was low key super pumped about that. I know you said that like that year was okay. There were times where and hockey seasons are like this, right? You get the highs, you get the lows, and the old cliches, don't get too high with the highs and too low with the lows. But Can we just talk about that playoff record a minute? Because, like, we'll talk about your senior year in a sec, because there's a bit of a contrast here. Because you were crushing teams in the postseason as well. Like, the goal differential, you're winning by like 5, 6 goals a game at times. And that in the playoffs, man, that's nuts.
Yeah, I remember. So our conference final game to kind of get to the tournament, we put St. Norbert, and we honestly demolished them. It was like 12 to something, and I think it might have been 12 to something both games. But when we beat them and those two, or I guess it was that game. I think it's just one game. But anyways, when we beat them like that, I was just like, holy cow, this is crazy that we're doing this. And yeah, we just kind of kept it rolling, and we played Hobart in that quarterfinal game, and we put up like 7 on them, and I was just like, this is where it's over. Like, we're gonna win this. And yeah, we did. Geneseo gave us a good game. I just think we were more dominant, deeper in the lineup. Like 1 through 4, the lines just kind of rolled, and that's how we played, and just kind of wore teams down, and it worked. So
It sure did. And you had a heck of a partnership with young Mr. Luciani. I mean, I think you were the top 2 in team scoring, right up there in terms of overall D3. I mean, just talk about playing with Luch at college, because, I mean, you look at the highlight reel and he was pulling off some crazy stuff.
yeah, he is definitely a crafty guy. I'm so glad I got to meet him. He's taught me a lot, and I hope I've taught him a lot. But yeah, we kind of have the same goals and the same drive, and we want to push each other to be better. That's kind of why we come back here in the summer and train, because we like to push each other. Um, but yeah, that he's a good player, and I'm excited to be back with him. Don't tell him I missed him too much, but um, yeah, he's a good kid, best friend of mine. I mean, I can't. There's no bad things to say about him. So uh,
Well, I think
yeah,
we're all looking forward to you guys renewing your partnership for sure. And look, I think it's important that obviously we'll talk about the team successes a lot. Hockey's a team sport. We should celebrate that. But absolutely as well, I'm a firm believer in celebrating the individual success where it's due, because you were the D3 tournament MVP. And that is a big deal. And that must be something that you're super proud of looking back on it.
yeah, yeah. I'm very proud of that. I don't know why I get weird about individual success. I always like to bounce it back on my team, but yeah, I just kind of went into that Frozen Four weekend with like the goal that no one's gonna stop me, and I guess us and what we're doing. And I felt like I kind of just took the bull by the horns and tried to lead the way for the other guys, and kind of set the tone each game on how we're gonna play, and this is what it's gonna be. But yeah, it was a great honor to get that. It was kind of the cherry on top before lifting that national championship trophy. But yeah, I'll be grateful for my teammates for helping me achieve that goal. So
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And then it kind of got a little bit sweeter, didn't it? Because you got to pull on the Team USA colours in Universiad, which is a pretty cool tournament as well. You'll have to explain that to everybody. But also, you scored the game winner to get through to the tournament final. I mean, you came short in the tournament final, winning the silver, but what an experience that must have been.
yeah, so that was in Lake Placid as well.
Was it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I guess the preliminary rounds of the tournament was held at Potsdam University and Clarkson University. So we played our games out of Clarkson University. I think we played like 4 or 5 games. So I forget our record, but we needed something to happen for us to someone to lose or something for us to get to Lake Placid, because the semis and championship game were only at Lake Placid. So we were like,
Mhm.
all right, boys, we're playing to get to Placid. We got to get there and just go from there. And we got there, and then we played Japan, who I was like, I don't know how, like, I don't see hockey like super big in Japan, and these kids were good. I guess they were playing together for like 12, 13 years. And yeah, they took us to overtime, and it was 3-on-3. I remember one of my teammates, I actually played with him a little bit this past season too. Um, but he did some crazy spin move and like poked me the puck right in the middle and just curl and drag and shoot it, and it went in. And then our focus was on Canada, but that Canada team was good. They had a few draft picks on that team, and but I mean, we hung with them for a little bit, but they took it to us a little bit. But yeah, it was a great experience. I'm glad I got to experience it. Heinze was there as well,
Yep.
so I got to go with him, and then another defenseman on our team. So it was cool to have those guys there and represent Adrian and kind of do what we did. I don't think anyone really expected us to make it to the finals or even Lake Placid. So it was kind of cool to shove it back in everyone's face and ultimately come out with a pretty cool silver medal. So
Very, very similar to the miracle story, actually. That isn't it? When you think about what you just said, and then let's talk about coming back to your final year in Adrian, and you get the ultimate honor for a school that I know you love and is very close to your heart. Clearly, you got to wear the C. What kind of captain do you think you are, Sam? And how much of an honor was that?
it was a big honor, and I got to share it with Alessio. So it was kind of cool that we kind of did that as a duo. But as far as me as a captain, I think I'm more of a kind of go on the ice and play the way that kind of we're supposed to play, like hard, finish every play. I kind of get quiet at times, I guess. But here and there in the locker rooms in between periods, I'll be kind of saying what I saw that we need to kind of work on, or if we're good, or if the room's getting too high, kind of just bring it down a little bit and just kind of keep everyone's emotions in check. Um, but yeah, it was an honor to be a captain here, and I got to learn from a few great captains before me. But yeah, I guess I'm just kind of a go show you how we got to do it instead of more of a tell you how to do it, or I get not scream, but like you know what I mean. So, but yeah.
We talked a little, like literally a couple of minutes ago, about the national championship year, crushing everybody in the postseason. Your senior year trip to the postseason couldn't have been any different. That looked like a grind. Every game went to OT. I think every game was high scoring as well, if I remember rightly. I think defense might have been optional through that postseason. Then you trip in the last hurdle to Hobart. So I guess just tell us about how much of a grind that actually was. And I mean, it must have been heartbreaking in that final game.
Yeah. So I actually got hurt in our first round of our conference finals. I messed my knee up. So I was done for the year, sadly, and I hated that. That's how I finished at Adrian.
Hmm.
Uh, I felt like if I was out there and one of our best defensemen got hurt as well and he was done for the year, I feel like if we were kind of out there, I would like to think things would have been definitely different. But from watching from the outside, those games, I was biting my nails every game. Like I was sweating every game because like I couldn't do anything to help. And watching all those close games, I remember we were playing Stevens Point, and they took us to OT, and I remember exactly where I was standing in our rink, and I think we got a power play, and one of my teammates whacked it in on a rebound, and I was just like, "It's over, it's over. Let's move on and let's get going." And then we got to Endicott where the Frozen Four was, and we played UNE our first game, and I think they got off to a couple goal lead on us, and then we got back and tied it up, I think. And then they scored a few more, and it was like 6-3. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go again. And then we battled back, went to OT, and I was sitting right on the glass where so Alessio came in and he scored, and I was right on the glass where he was, and he was like selling, and I was like, I just couldn't move. I was like, we did it again. And then yeah, going into that Hobart game, I was like, this is gonna be a close one. This one probably will go into extra time, and it did. unfortunate bounce, just took a bad bounce off one of our defensemen's skates, and they kind of had just a wide open backdoor tap in. One of my roommates was the goalie that game, and he got a little piece of it. But yeah, I mean, you can't win them all, but I think it was a good learning experience for that group and the guys that were staying at school.
Mm.
Definitely not the way us seniors wanted to kind of go out. Um, but I wouldn't change anything in my time here, and I appreciate all the guys, all
Mm.
the people I met, and just yeah, it was great time in my life.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall when you meet your new teammate Artem Busavera, because he was on that Hobart team, and I know he was another powerhouse in D3, only on the other side of the fence to you guys. So hey, if you guys ever talk about that, you need to like have a camera present or something. So I got to hear how that one goes down. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, you mentioned playing with Zach Heinz throughout your time there. He was such a shifty player too, wasn't he, Heinz? We loved having him here in Cov.
Yeah, he was. He's also one of my. I say they're all my best friends because they are. But yeah, Heinze and I are super duper close. My first year here, we were line mates. So like we got just super close playing together. I was always over at his house. We were making stupid music, like we were doing whatever. But yeah, he's one of my best friends. I try to get up and see him once a summer if I can. Only lives a couple hours away. But yeah, he is shifty. I've never seen anyone quite as shifty as he is, but um, yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a good dude. And another good dude that we've only just got introduced to as well, you're going to be reuniting with, is Dershawn Stewart. I got to say, I love Dershawn. He is one of the nicest guys. His attitude is super infectious. Just tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, Dersh is he's a good guy. I played with him for 3 years, I think. But yeah, like you said, he's super contagious with his attitude and his work ethic. I know he's always in the gym with us this summer, grinding away, and he's a great goalie. Makes some crazy saves that I just like holy. But yeah, I'm excited to get back playing with him, and it should be fun. So
And he talked about that balance. And he articulated it really well. I mean, from a goalie perspective, he was saying how he loved that balance of just doing all the little things right to keep the puck out, but then every now and then you'd get one of those crazy ones where you'd be flexing and bending in a way you shouldn't, and the puck hits the inside of the catcher, and you hear it, and you feel it, and there's a lot to be said for that. Even like as an out skater, I mean, that attitude is bang on, isn't it?
yeah, and that's kind of what you need out of teammates is them caring about like those little things because I think that's what helps push other people, other teammates to work just as hard as that, and ultimately that's what creates team success. So I'm glad he's going to be over there, part of something great that we got going here, and yeah, excited to meet the boys and get to work and get going. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, we are too. I mean, for the record, it's middle of July. I'm kind of bored of the off season now. I think now's a pretty good time for us to get going. So I'll have to kind of like you say, bite my nails for another month or so before everyone flies in. But you got to play a little bit of pro hockey, of course, before you came to Coventry. You had a couple of years in the pros. Starting in Indy first off, and hockey's such a small world, right? I mean, yeah. Did Kevin and your links to Kevin have anything to do with that landing in Indy because he's got links there too? And it's funny how those things work out.
Not specifically. So one of the goalies that came in towards the end of my career here at Adrian, his dad works for the AHL team, the Rockford Ice Hogs. I think he's the GM. So there's kind of a little bit of a connection there through Kruger and him. I had another teammate sign there. So that's kind of where what I was hoping. When that time came. It's my hometown. I grew up there. We practiced out of the rink that I grew up playing youth hockey in. Um, could drive 20 minutes by my old house. So like yeah, I was super excited to get there and get going in Indy. Definitely change, I would say, from college to pro.
Mm.
Coming off my knee surgery and just kind of learning the pro game, it was definitely a little bit of a change, but it was a good year. I had fun.
Yeah, I mean, the Indy always seem to manage to roll out a good team as well. They always do pretty well. And then let's talk a little bit about last year because I mean, we get to talk about guys' careers and talk about hockey in places that maybe the average elite league fan doesn't necessarily get to very often. And we're going to talk about the SP a little bit in Huntsville because I think the SP gets a bit of a bad rep. But like Huntsville gets 6,000 fans a game on average. Like that must be a pretty great atmosphere in that place.
It's crazy. I didn't really know what to expect when I was heading down there. I've heard things about there. Um, but when I stepped out there for my first game, I was just like, holy cow, this is a lot of people. The light show they got before like we come on the ice and stuff like that is like I've heard people say it's better than the Predators in the NHL and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a good town, good city, loyal fans, which is nice. I kind of went down there just to kind of get some more games under my belt.
Mm.
I wasn't playing as much as I would like when I was up in the coast. So just kind of thought it was best for my game to go get a little bit more experience in those bigger situations, play some more minutes. But we lost in that first round to Evansville, who ended up winning it all, which was kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. But um, overall, great experience. Got
Mm.
to meet some new people, meet up with people I already knew. So yeah, it was good. It was warm. It actually snowed my first weekend down there, which I never would have thought of snow, but everything was shut down. They don't have snow plows there. It was crazy. And then next week, 60 degrees again. And yeah.
If you want to see a place shut down with the snow, just see if it hits us in December. The UK is not. We're not very good with snow. We're good with a lot of things, but snow isn't. But isn't one of them. But just go back one step to that run in the SP because the regular season, you guys were hot. Like let's be honest, you had a great regular season, and then as you say, you ran into Evansville. Did that kind of conjure memories of Minot back in the Nile? Because when I was looking through and looking some of the footage and the box scores and stuff, I was like, dang, this is similar.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think of those two things until you kind of just mentioned it. But yeah, they're very similar. That feeling of being right there and having it taken away from you is it's always tough. It sucks. No player wants to ever go through that. Um, they gave us, I think, their three best games. They played us all
Mm.
year. We snuck out of that first one with an OT win, and then we went to Evansville, and their goalie was super duper hot that series. We didn't. I don't even think we scored in the second game. They beat us like 2-0, or maybe we snuck in one, but that third game we ended up throwing up 60 shots and we just couldn't get any by. And it sucks running into a hot goalie. You want a hot goalie when it comes to playoffs, but um, yeah, it was tough to kind of let all those fans that support us and all that kind of down. But like we say, what can you do?
What can you do? And then it kind of brings us to the present day. A couple of weeks ago, your phone rang. Kevin Moore was on the other end of the line, and he was saying, "Hey, Sam, I want you to come to Coventry." What was that conversation like? How did he sell you on the place? And I mean, it must be great reuniting with Kevin as well because your paths have crossed a bunch of times over the years.
Yeah, so rewind to the summer before this past season. Uh, Kevin reached out and was curious if I wanted to come over to Coventry last year, and I felt like I just needed to kind of give myself another year in the ECHL and kind of see what I could do. And obviously, things didn't go as planned. But yeah, I kind of reached out to him and was kind of trying to feel him out on what he was thinking, and he said he was trying to figure a few things out. We chatted a few times every couple of weeks, just kind of seeing if he had any update, and finally he called me and was like, "All right, we're ready. Let's do this." And I couldn't stop grinning on the phone. I was super appreciative of him for giving me this opportunity. Um, I'm gonna come in and work super hard and give you guys my best. So yeah, I'm just very thankful to be part of the Blaze. So
Oh, we're really looking forward to having you. I mean, I guess tell the fans a little bit about your playing style. I mean, they've seen your partner in crime in Alessio Luciani hit the ice. What can they expect from Sam Ruffin?
um, I like to think I'm a 200-foot centerman. I can play both sides of the puck pretty well. I would say I got pretty good vision on the ice. I like to make some good passes to set up guys. I think my best attribute though is my skating. I've always worked on skating from a young age, so I kind of think using my feet and skating is kind of how I create. But also when given the chance, I can put the puck in the net. So
Yeah, in terms of like, I mean, it's weird. Like there are so many nuances in a shot. Some guys have a heavy shot. Some guys have a quick release. Some guys are super accurate. Some guys just have this knack of putting it in. Some guys go cross body all the time, and it works for them. Is there any little secrets that actually I don't know whether I want to ask you this. I don't want to give anything away, but like, is there anything in terms of your prep in terms of shooting that you focus on in particular, or is it just repetition after repetition?
yeah, I mean, it is always going to be repetition after repetition. That's how I guess, you kind of master something. But I think my biggest attribute when it comes to shooting and scoring is just always being like shot ready and having a quick release, because I think the quicker you can get the puck on net, the less time the goalie has to get set. I wouldn't say my shot's super hard by any means, but it's not soft. But yeah, I think just trying to have it on your forehand as much as you can, and just a quick release is what gets them most of the time. So
Awesome. What's the rest of the summer got in store for you? Like I say, we've only got about a month left. I got sent a sneaky video of you and Lucci skating the other day, going through some drills. What are you going to be doing for the next 4 or so weeks before you head on over?
so I think I got about 2 weeks left here in Adrian, Michigan. So Luch and I are probably just gonna continue our schedule of workout or skate in the morning, then do the other after, and then usually we just head to work. If we don't have work, we're probably gonna try to get out and golf a little bit. Haven't golfed as much as I wanted to, but that's okay. That comes second to what we're doing. And then probably head back home to Alaska for a couple weeks, and then yeah, jump on the bird and head over.
No, that's gonna come around real fast as well. Sam, I really appreciated this, my friend. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for putting some time aside.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And guys, thank you so much again for tuning into the Blaze TV podcast. I can't believe it. We still got more of these to come before the boys head on over. So stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.